This story starts quite a few years ago, with a tip that journals were actively engaged in deliberately changing their citation, acceptance, and content policies to manipulate their if. I already knew this happened. This is why citation cartels exist. What I didn't know, how. To my surprise, there was a great big bag of research on impact factor manipulation that already exists. Some of it is 20 years old. And, for some inexplicable reason, no one talks about it? Well, I want to talk about it. The first thing I had to solve was, why the silence? Considered opinion, 2 reasons for it. 1, always discussed as an abstract issue, because scientists like publishing in journals, and specifically revealing their naughty secrets pisses them off. So, the discussions around this are usually kind of diffuse. People grouse about it, but accept it as part of the system. This plays into reason. 2, maybe it's not a particularly dire academic sin. It doesn't change the review process, the publication process, etc. much. Now, I don't like either of these reasons. First of all, things that piss powerful people off are usually things which should be said. I would assert I don't have to justify my record on this one. Second, a privately owned irreproducible metric, and it is reproducible, I've tried, redefining what a journal is by proxy is not serving the interests of scientists. First, by definition, it categorically cannot be a good thing, even if not crushingly dishonest. Then I got a tip of where to look, which I then confirmed with multiple independent parties. And this brings us to today's preprint, where at Dr. G 1985. And I took a look at the content policies of the British Journal of Sports Medicine. The link to the paper is in the description. Specifically, we downloaded the entire history of the journal from PubMed and sorted the output over time. You can see the details in the paper, but the point that stands out is clear. One good way to juice your impact factor is to publish small citable items. Why? Because impact factor equals AB. Where A, the numerator is composed of citations to the journal as a whole, regardless of the document type. B, the denominator is comprised of 3 document types: reviews, articles, and proceedings papers. Notice anything? Clarivate Analytics does not consider editorials, minor editorial correspondence, general news items, small opinion essays, biographical items, interviews, letters, reprints, or minor non-scholarly works as citable items. In other words, anything without an abstract, short, with few references, and no data is likely to be a citable academic document, but adds to the if numerator only. We call these chinos, citable, numerator only. BJSM went from publishing a few editorials every now and then, like most journals, to publishing more chinos than original research articles in some years. The rise of chinos neatly parallels the journal becoming if ranked number 1 in sports medicine. There's more in the preprint, much more, but to me the nadir is 2017, where only 27% of items the journal published that year were original research. I mean, look at this. 8 editorials and 3 articles in one issue. Don't quit on me just yet. This is just about to get interesting. So, there's this guy who had a 2005 editorial retracted recently, for what can only be described as strong and obvious plagiarism. From BJSM, as it happens. Paul McCrory, editor-in-chief of BJSM from 2001 through 2008. It was around that time when this rather confusing policy of changing from journal to a multimedia information portal started. Certainly the cases at S. Team, Tron, outlined are in our analysis period here. Now, that could be totally coincidental. The editor starting afterwards, 2009, could be responsible for this bizarre content policy change in its entirety. All I'm saying is, the present fuss is what got me really interested in finishing looking at this journal content. One strong preconception that I have from years of working with at S. Team, Tron, is, when bad actors are involved, and I think plagiarizing. At Steve Aake, SWORK is a bad act, obviously, there are more acts to find. I'm not convinced impact factor manipulation is the worst thing in the world. Compared to my usual fare? Tame. But it's not so insignificant it doesn't warrant discussion, and I'm fed up with people not talking about it.